Unbelievable TV, Episode 4, Electra Woman and Dyna Girl. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another mediocre entry in our little web series. Today, we'll be looking at something sadly forgotten by the sands of time. Something that really deserves a good reboot. We're talking, of course, about the 1970s superhero show, Electra Woman and Dyna Girl. So without further ado, let's begin. Electra Woman and Dyna Girl! It should go without saying that the 70s were a weird time. Like, there was a film adaptation of Grand Theft Auto before the series even existed. You're all probably familiar with H.R. Puffenstuff, and if you're not...
to call in a wand repairman.
Ooh! Oh, my head! It feels like it's going to pop. Ooh! Why me? Oh, why does everything happen to me?
Anyways, HR was created by Sid and Mary Croft, siblings known for creating a wide variety of children's shows, primarily through the 70s and 80s. This even included the Brady Bunch Hour. However, that's just plain bad. Today, we'll be looking at something so bad, it's good. Well, at least it'll be interesting to watch. Although obscure, the series definitely hasn't been forgotten. Actually, just last year it was rebooted as an 8-episode web miniseries. We may talk about the reboot another day, but for now, we'll just say people found it to be meh. The original series' enjoyability comes entirely from its camp. It's hard to imagine anyone would take this show seriously. That being said, what does make the show so endearing? Well, take a look at superhero movies today, especially DC ones. People love the '02 Spider-Man movie for taking an otherwise silly comic book series and telling a serious, entertaining story. That's not to say the Spider-Man comic series couldn't tell good, serious stories, but there's no denying previous media incarnations have been hard to...
That's right, Peter. I'm you, and you're me, and this is a gun.
Take seriously. You can certainly tell a good dramatic story using comics, but remember, people still like to have fun. Take a look at the 1978 Superman movie. It's listed as a drama, but compared to Man of Steel, it's certainly a ray of sunshine. Electra Woman and Dyna Girl is actually a lot like the 60s Batman series in that you shouldn't take it seriously. It seems to know that it's dumb fun. Hell, you can even tell the actors were having fun with it by some of their facial expressions and mannerisms. Seriously, Judy Strangis, who plays Dyna Girl, is great in this, entirely for her cheesy one-liners and facial expressions.
It was Glitter Rock's weird music. You were under a spell.
Electra, wow. If his stuff ever makes it to the top 40, we're all in big trouble. Well, what?
Electra Woman, played by Deirdre Hall, on the other hand, is kind of a straight woman to Dyna Girl. She doesn't really make puns, and, well, that's about it, really. Still, she comes off as campy, but less so than Dyna Girl, largely due to the fact that she isn't trying and failing to make witty one-liners.
No time to think. We've got to find him. Activate your sensor scan. And you stay put.
No, I've got to go with you this time. It's my own duty to my own country.
I think we should be a little bit more concerned about the entire world.
Also, despite having Electra Woman having it in her name, Dyna Girl loves to put the word Electra in front of every gosh darned word.
Our new Electra vibe, right?
Now, what about the other characters? Well, there's Frank. He
can pulverize 10-ton boulders, knock down concrete walls. This small device can also be pinpointed on small objects. We'll just insert this in the Electra car.
He's kind of an Alfred Alpha 5 type, providing reconnaissance and such for the duo. He's also campy, but considerably less interesting than the heroes.
Yes?
Glitter Rock has the king.
I'll get Crime Scope on search alert.
Although that could be due to the fact that his backstory is never expanded upon. Although, not that the audience would want a backstory for him. Now, with the two heroes, we do learn a decent amount about them, such as the fact that they're reporters. Frank, however, for all we know, could be a war criminal who killed the original Frank and is hiding from the authorities. But the most interesting characters would probably have to be the villains. Well, at least design-wise. Just like 60s Batman, the show has a bunch of kid-friendly villains. However, this show takes it up a notch. Take a look at the villain Glitter Rock from the episode Glitter Rock.
I dig this gig you're planning, but you know, the last time I heard those freaky chords, I couldn't stop myself from walking into a wall and almost busting my nose.
Fantastic.
Oh, and the acting.
All the way back to the States just to go to our high school reunion.
Oh, I wouldn't miss it, Laurie. And besides, it'll give me a chance to see some really terrific rock. There's not very much of that back in Tarnborg, you know.
You can't forget that. It's a weird mix of overly serious and just not caring at all. The two leads do try, but it's just not working. Oh, and remember when superhero shows had narrators? That isn't a joke made for superhero send-ups nowadays. It really was a thing.
In a seedy, rundown section of the city, a theater, its stage once graced by the superstars of days long past, stands forgotten and abandoned. No longer is it filled with the sounds of laughter and applause, only with dusty cobwebs and an oppressive silence.
The narrator here is, well, he's just here for the paycheck. Also, none of the villain schemes make much sense. Like, they all want to take over the world, but by very convoluted means. Come to think of it, why don't supervillains just take the easy route? Just take over small towns one by one and work your way up. But no, it's always something like creating a massive new continent which would swallow the current land masses of Earth, forcing the world to use the villain's new land. Superman Returns. Now, any good character has flaws. Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, they all have dead parents. Okay, those aren't really flaws, but they do add to their backstory. And neither Electra Woman nor Dyna Girl have flaws or backstory, at least serious ones. They're cookie-cutter kids show-type characters, really. They do have friends or allies. Electra Woman is friends with a king, apparently.
Pendant is enough to make me swoon.
This, Judy, is the key of Tarnborg. Whoever possesses it rules.
Can you imagine what would happen if that fell into the wrong hands?
Because, you know, kings from foreign nations often go to high schools in the US. Also, he's clearly 42. Electra Woman is supposed to be in her 20s. The main problem of this show is that there's no substance in it. There's flavor, sure, but it's like drinking knockoff Kool-Aid. It was created to make money, be like the real thing, in this case Batman and Robin, but still be different. With the shows like Daredevil or The Flash, the characters have actual backstories, problems, and emotions, besides just being mildly annoying at worst and mostly happy. Take this clip, for example.
On the right. Why don't you go ahead and unpack, and Judy and I will check out the rock concerts for you.
Thanks a lot, Larry. It'll just take me a minute.
Okay.
Oh, what rock band are they going to see? Just a rock band, no one in particular. Kids like rock and roll, right? Then that's what our heroes like. Part of why we watch a show is because we get invested in the characters. Part of the fun is seeing how the character is developed. We don't have to like them to find them intriguing. In Daredevil, a chance a character could die at any moment. Does it look like anyone could die in this show? No one has to die to make a show interesting, sure, but there at least has to be a sense of danger. A show quickly becomes bland if you know everything will be okay by the 22-minute mark. Most reviews of a TV show usually cover a specific episode. However, in this case, that's kind of pointless. The episodes all seem to run together. There's no real feel of progression in the show. None of the characters are given much depth, and each episode has the same basic structure. Set up the villain, show what our heroes are up to, have them stop at the villain's evil plan, then continue on all happy and whatnot. So, what is there to talk about with this show? Well, not much. It's bizarre and terribly written, but if you don't take it seriously, it can be pretty fun.
Hey, welcome to my special performance. The first number is called You're Mine, All Mine, and Never Again Will You See the Sun Shine.
You know, in the so bad it's good kind of way. So that might be it then. All in all, this is a bad show, but it's not offensively bad. Sure, it was made to make money, but it's not malicious in any way. As far as TV shows go, there are worse things you could watch. It's dumb, but it's enjoyable, so it gets a pass. Thanks for watching, and good luck out there.
There it is. It's going into orbit. Come on.
there's